Hello! I'm glad you found my channel. My name is Jana and you're watching Curves on the Road. Today I have a very specific video for you. If you're planning to come to Cancun, Mexico, and you have no idea what you want to do here, I've got you covered. We have spent 2 weeks and we have spent about a month and a half thinking about what to do, how to organize everything, and how to make the best itinerary. We made a lot of mistakes, and I'll tell you what we planned, what we eventually ended up doing, and you can take inspiration for your own vacation. So who are we? We are a couple without children. Of course, we're young in heart, but we are not that crazy adrenaline seekers. And we wanted long holiday, but not something that would get us fired from our jobs. So we decided for 14 days of vacation in Cancun. First of all, we wanted an all-inclusive resort. After we checked the prices, we changed our mind a little bit. We went with the strategy, let's do a first week in a cheaper downtown hotel, and the second week in a fancy all-inclusive resort. Like that, the days you spend on the trips, you wouldn't eat in the hotel anyway, almost at all. So you will save up some cash, and sometimes it's even more strategic for some of the tours. The whole budget for 2 people for 14 days is 6,300 euros. So what did we get for the price? First of all, the flight. We booked with Austrian Airlines, everything went smoothly, highly recommend direct flights. We booked a taxi in advance on booking.com for 26 euros. We thought it was overpriced, but actually those are the prices of taxis there. And it was a huge minivan, so for a big group it would be a perfect solution. We stayed in the Wyndham Garden Cancun downtown hotel. It was only with breakfast and it was perfectly sufficient for what we needed. First week we arrived, and already the second day, still jet lag, we went to Chichen Itza. We went with a big travel agency, and that travel agency really had everything organized. There's always upsides and downsides for big travel agencies. Upside is everything's to the dot, organized. They'll tell you where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be there. The downside is that actually you'll be everywhere with 50 plus people because the groups are big. Chichen Itza was the first and only thing I knew I wanted to see in Mexico before I came here. So that one I was particular about, that I have to do in the beginning to prevent getting sick, or if something happened, I really wanted to be fresh for that one. It's basically a tour package. There's the city of Valladolid, there's cenote, which is like a sinkhole with fresh water, and then there's the main attraction, and that's Chichen Itza. We came without planning it, actually, I'm sad to say, right at the right day when there's this light show on the side of the pyramid that the old Mayans set the pyramid certain way so that it looks like a serpent is crawling down the pyramid. So there are loads and loads of people. You have to decide, do you want to see something unique that is there only a couple of days a year and deal with bigger crowds, or do you want to avoid this period of time because, yeah, this time would be overcrowded? I would definitely do this trip again. I have no major complaints. The only thing is, in the middle, they'll take you to a shaman and they'll take you to some souvenir stores. You're already hungry, you're not really interested in what they've got to sell, but they keep you there and push things for you to buy. That was the only thing we were like, yeah, this is a little bit on the edge of comfortable. But other than that, very, very nice trip. Trip number 2, more than a trip, is like a day in an amusement park. They have this ecological / water park called Eşkare, and they have some water activities, some land activities, some theater, lots of different things. If you want to spend one day, especially if you have children or if you like to be more active and try different things, you will be in the shade most of the day, but there's a lot to do. That day though, you'll be walking a lot, so be ready, especially if you do the Chichen Itza the day before, you will be dead. Third day, we needed a break. We took a day off. The only thing we did was check the downtown and shopping center a little bit, and then we went to Hard Rock Cafe for dinner. But really easy day, we needed to sleep it off, and because the Eşkare, it ended like, we got home right before midnight, so it's a really, really long trip. By the way, each of these attractions I'm talking about, I have a separate video for the hotels, for the trips, so keep an eye on my channel. It will all be there, and you can, if you want to just do some of these activities, you can check them in detail. Fourth day was probably my biggest regret. This was my least favorite trip, and for several reasons. First reason, because I'm an idiot and I didn't use enough sunscreen and I got sunstroke, and all of the problems started spiraling from there, from my health. But if you put on enough sunscreen, if you wear some t-shirt to swim in, you might be in better condition. It was snorkeling in the island Cozumel. The problem is, it's quite far from Cancun, so count 4 to 5 hours to even get somewhere. So 10 hours of the trip, that is 14-15 hours, is spent commuting. Is it worth it? From my perspective, it would be much better to book a hotel in Cozumel, stay for 2 days, relax, go snorkeling just from there, and you will feel less hustled. I didn't like the company we went with, honestly. They didn't care too much about us, to be honest. It felt like two guys said like, how difficult can it be to have a travel agency, right? They just generally got us there, put us in taxis, which already doesn't look very professional, took us to a boat that was like teeny tiny. It was uncomfortable to get in the water. Yeah, and there was no shade there, nowhere to hide. That's why I got so sunburned. So that one, I'm not like 100% sure I would recommend for you guys. But as I said, instead, use the refresh day and 1 extra day to actually stay in Cozumel. Definitely the diving sites are amazing. There are turtles, stingrays, absolute breathtaking. So go visit Cozumel, but not as we did. And after Cozumel, we went to the 4-in-1 trip. It was Tulum, Coba, the pyramid of Coba, cenote, and Playa del Carmen. Honestly, I was sunstroke. I had stomach problems. So that day, I can't say I enjoyed. Please, 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 if you remember one thing from this whole video, take an umbrella to Tulum. Don't go without a proper shading device to Tulum. You'll thank me later, because there is nowhere to hide. In Tulum, there is nowhere to hide. So just keep that in mind. I couldn't even do the whole area simply because I was just too hot to cope. The Coba pyramid, that was fun. They can take you on some sort of tricycles, so if you're lazy you can do that, or you can actually bike to the pyramid. That's also cool, or simply walk, but it's 2 kilometers, so it depends on how fast the tour will push you to do this activity. In the past, you could climb up to the top of the Coba. Now it's unfortunately not possible, so you can just see it from the bottom. My boyfriend really wanted to climb up, so he was a little bit upset. I never had these intentions, so for me it didn't really matter. Cenotes, I love cenotes. First of all, if you have the cenotes as part of your program, never say, nah, I'll skip that. That's the best thing. When it's so hot and you can like just take a dip in the fresh water pond and it looks amazing. And Playa del Carmen, well, generally it's a shopping, dining, fun place to be. But for me, I could actually skip that altogether because I just bought some magnets, spent some money, but there was nothing really that special for me to do. After Tulum, we had another breathe day. I was like, okay, I can go 2 days in a row, but then I might need a breathe day, and boy, did I need the breathe day after Tulum, because I was sunstroke that day. I wasn't feeling well at all, so I basically slept through the next day. But you don't have to. If you're still feeling fresh and good, you can actually go to the watchtower in Cancun because it's part of the Xcaret ticket. You can see the city. Nice, very easy activity. So you can fill your day with some little activities. You don't have to stay at home. And the final activity we were supposed to do was diving. My favorite activity, but unfortunately they called it off because of the strong winds. So instead that day we went to Isla Mujeres, a tiny island about 20 minutes boat ride from Cancun. The second week, I know I talked a lot. This one, super easy. We moved to a Riu Cancun hotel, all inclusive, and from there, the real holiday. Of course, the first week was holiday and fun as well, but like the doing nothing holiday started. So for that week, we didn't plan much. Obviously, because you have paid a lot of money, so you want to use all the attractions that are in the hotel. If you're interested more about the details of the hotel, of course, I have a video for you. We went to this cute bar, club, disco place. I almost lost my hearing there, but it's something to do here. Cancun is a party city, so if you want a real professional entertainment, try Coco Bongo. Is it for young kids? Well, I've seen even older people there and they were having time of their life. So if you're young in heart, try Coco Bongo. So that's it. That's the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why don't you give me an itinerary thumb up, and you can subscribe to my channel. I upload every Sunday. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and bye.